Yeah, so let's start. We are recording, so yeah, good afternoon,
Yeah, well,
everyone. How are you, Sarah? Feels
hello,
hello
hello,
everyone.
London, England, with an Australian accent.
Oh yeah, I like it. So here's Enric Bandrell. I'm a Access CF, Access Certified Facilitator, and we are having this call today, this meeting for fun, this tea time Zoom. So this is a consciousness conversations, and Sarah from London, and me, and whoever wants to join us and to talk with us, we are going to talk about consciousness, about possibilities, about creation, about whatever it comes up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. So I do have a few questions for
Oh,
you, and it's
really?
amazing. So if anyone's actually quite new to Access Consciousness and don't know anything about the Access Consciousness tools, and it'd be really great for you to talk about some of the things about some of the classes that you do, and some of the tools would be awesome to talk about.
Yeah, there are many tools, many classes. I do many classes going on right now. Most of them are online because the live classes has been canceled because everywhere there are some restrictions, some limitations. So we are doing online classes now. But the funny thing, Sarah, is that the tools still works.
Oh, they really do.
Yeah.
Talk about one of the classes that you're about to do again and again, and you did it just nearly a week ago. And there was a few of us that were actually on it. Um, I know that class has really changed my whole world, and I don't say it, are really significant, but nearly a week later, things are still changing from that class. And being online was such a different, than being in a class with you, being live. But yeah, the tools just worked so much. So could you explain and talk about what an online class is with you, and especially with you, because it's really different with you.
Oh, really? So I don't know how to say it. Maybe you have an idea because you have had many classes with other facilitators. But yeah, I can say how is it for me when I'm giving the class. But yeah, thank you for that, and thank you, Sarah, to have chosen the class because Sarah has been in a class in Spanish, so she doesn't speak Spanish.
At all.
She don't speak Spanish, and she was at the class having the 4 days class, the foundation class, with a group of Spanish speakers people. So that was incredible. And here we have Spanish people also and Brazilians. So some of them they speak English and some not. So yeah, what contribution is that? So thank you for that. And we are going to talk a bit of how does this works. So an online class, for me, it's so cool because I realized when I did my first Zoom meetings or Zoom telecalls, that even we are on distance, even we are so far from each other, we are talking about something. We are exploring the energies. We are talking about bodies, about consciousness, about energy. And the thing is that our bodies and ourself, we still perceive the energy so much. It's like we are at our homes, but the energy is moving a lot. So we are changing the things, even we are on distance. That's so funny, and I'm surprised about that because energy is moving a lot, and we can still work, like move the energy and change things. So yeah, I really ask myself, and what else is possible? with that. Because we can perceive the other people are talking about something, someone is talking about something, and the other people is getting the energy, it's getting an awareness, they are perceiving in their bodies. So we can even get so aware of our bodies, even if we are not in front of each other.
And Eric, what was it like for you, to facilitate, there was 9 of us, so there was 8 of us, facilitating us from distance, and it was in Spanish, but what, like what I'm probably asking, like, did you have to, like, for you, was it you being really present with all of us? Was it, what's the difference of having being live with someone or a live class than an online class?
Yeah, so for me it was funny because we like, or I like the interaction with people. So what we got during the class is that we have our mics muted. Otherwise, we get sometimes too much noise. Uh, Even the devices, the persons are not talking, but the devices are doing some noise. So we need to have almost anyone muted, and that makes kind of sometimes not. I couldn't get, the short answers. Sometimes people do that when you are live. You are hearing this yes or no or whoa or whatever, and you can perceive or hearing. You can hear more of that, and when we are doing that online, that classes is not that easy. So sometimes I have to ask a lot or to look at your faces, whatever. Also the energy, for sure. We can talk and talk with the energy, but also in the foundation class, a lot of energy is moving. So we, as you saw, and many of you has been in a foundation class. So the things are changing a lot. And what happens sometimes is that all of us are almost fried, our brains are fried and we cannot talk or interact that easy. So yeah, that's one of the things.
And so another question I like to ask, with usually with foundation classes, they are live classes with certified facilitators of access consciousness. But with all the coronavirus and everything that has just come up and changed and now there is online classes. So what's that to you? Like, how different is that now? And the way that the coronavirus is been creating and having an impact. What do like has that impacted on you, or have you been able to see the different possibilities in that?
So for sure, there is some special situations. It is a special moment because almost everyone has some changes in their daily basis, in their lives. So for me also, I'm having different reality right now, different activities. I cannot go outside, I cannot go to other cities to facilitate classes or to work doing sessions with people. So, and almost the all the group was from Spain. We had a couple of people from Argentina, but during that class, almost all of us were from Spain. So we have somehow the same limitations, because that limitations changes in every country. But yeah, the thing is that people is having more space or more sense of being with themselves. So that's in a part, in one from one hand is so cool because they can connect with their lives, with their energy, with their bodies. And the other hand, some people, or the energy that we can perceive, it's kind of obligation. There is a lot of energy and emotions and thoughts and feelings going on. So that allows us to really be so aware of what we can create, or of what we can do, of what we are perceiving. So it's interesting.
And Eric, what's one of, there's so many tools there is, but what one tool would you say that you're actually being? And I say being, we can do the tools, we can apply the tools, we can use the tools. But for me, it's actually being the tools. So what's one tool that you're actually being in all this, like online classes and the coronavirus?
Oh yeah, thank you for that question. Because yesterday we had a Zoom in Portuguese also, and we had this, like, yeah, looking for the best tool and all this. And I got now again, when you are asking that for me, what I'm doing many tools like questions, who does this belongs to, and perceiving that is not from you, what you are having in your mind. But what I'm doing the most, or being, is no judgment. I'm completely like allowing wherever it's happening into my life now, even if it's not funny or intense, like
But
the
that's,
classes.
I'm just interrupting. When you're saying having that no judgment, that's one of the choices, and that is, a tool we do have. But that's actually a choice to not judge, non-judgment.
Yeah, it is a choice, and maybe a while ago I couldn't do that, because we are so used to think and to have these thoughts that you are perceiving or you are creating, and having them as real. So we are like, I'm this. I'm thinking bad things about me, so I'm bad. And what happens when we are doing these tools, when we are using the question instead of being in the conclusion, that we have this space. We have this space of allowance of, okay, I'm perceiving that, I'm feeling like that, I'm having this feeling, I'm having these thoughts, I'm having these emotions, but even though I'm not judging me, I can allow that intense energy, all these things going on outside of me in the world, and I can be in my home and thinking, oh, am I so stupid that I'm not creating that? Am I so uh, any or of the judgments that coming on? And then you can allow that and not having it as real and yours.
And that really gives a lot of freedom too, when you come out of choosing not to judge. And it is, and it creates a lot of space for yourself. But I find that it really creates a lot of space around you too, for anyone who wants to choose that too. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So the other thing I like to ask, so with the 3-day body classes, with everything that's been going on, what do you advise with the bars and the three, and like with body processes? So if anyone who've done like body processes, my question to you, Eric, can you run them on yourself? Can you run the bars? And if no one knows about the access bars, could you talk a little bit about the access bars?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So yes, we can run the bars or the body process to ourselves. It's not like the greatest change or contribution, because we know that when we are doing from one person to the other person, two bodies working, it's like kind of much more effective, or many times more like contribution. So, but when we are now at home, maybe we're alone, maybe we are not having anyone that can run bars on us or body process on us. So we are doing ourselves. We are running the process, like putting our hands on body and running the processes. So that helps a lot also.
Right. So another question, I know that animals don't have bars, but can you run body processes on animals? So if you've got an animal in the house, could you run body processes on, yeah, or even on a tree? Can you actually run body processes on a tree or on nature? So when you're going for a walk, I'm just asking what else is possible, and like let's really come out of the box of, while we're in lockdown, what other things we can apply and have fun with.
Yeah, that's a great question. Animals receive, they receive body processes, and that's so cool because they get a lot of stuff from us. They get a lot of energy, this heaviness that we have, these judgments, emotions. They are not having the same like system of living, the same feelings and thoughts and all this. But some animals that they live together with us, they get really, like involved with our energies. So when we do the body process to them, they usually they receive. And especially if they have some pain or some problem, we can use this body process with them. And they are really clear. If they like it, they stay there. If they don't like it, they they move on. So
Such a true story. Glenn, the dog that is around me, will stay for like a whole hour and he'll just soak it up. And then other times I'll run like zero summer trauma or something, and he's there for 5 minutes and then he runs off.
bye
But
bye. They are not stupid. So yeah.
Um, and I've noticed too, and that was my other question, is when I've been going for walks, and Glenn and I, he'll pick a tree, and it's not every tree, and then he'll just give me this message, let's do something here with this tree. And that may sound crazy to people, but not to me. And then it, like Glenn too, he's an Irish setter. He'll take me to parks and he'll show me a park to like be in one and do processes. Can you talk more about that with bodies, with nature, with the body processes?
Yeah, that's so incredible what you are saying. So for me, body process, they are this energy thing that you can activate it, and they run even if you are not putting the hands. So they kind of change things. They open things, they move the energy. So what you are saying is that you are being aware with an animal, with a dog, when you are going out and you are interacting with the trees and with everything, and that's so amazing because you are being connected. So it's one of the things that body process do, the body process work do. When we are working with bodies and we are getting more and more and more connected with things, with other bodies, with animal bodies, and with trees, and with everything that is around us. So yeah, we are creating change and we are interacting with, we are thinking all the time about, people, because we are like the center of the universe in this reality. Somehow we are thinking a lot, but when we are opening ourselves to more awareness, we are being aware of everything. So these processes are about consciousness. So when we are inviting people and inviting everything to a different possibilities, we are creating this change with body process, not only in the bodies, also in the realities, in the spaces, in the locations, everywhere. So we are kind of being this element of change everywhere. We
And
can
thank
be
you.
that.
I love that. And thank you for that. The element of change, because when you said location, like Glenn and I, when we go for our walks, we'll look at the buildings and then the buildings will start talking to us and then we'll do a body process on the building. The other thing, we've been doing body processes because where we are, we're in like quite central of London, and there's 3 main hospitals. So every time we go and past that, our bodies naturally we start doing body processes on the hospital, and then the hospital just, we can perceive something really different. And I think that's, I'm loving this conversation. And like, just letting you know, like being a public relation and a publicist and a journalist, we hear so much in the media about the gloom and the drama and the trauma of all of this. And what I love about Access Consciousness and talking to you, Enric, is such a different possibility of what we can be by being ourselves and being you. And you don't have to, I use the word participate in the drama and the trauma. You don't have to get caught into it. You can be aware of it. And these tools can really contribute to you too. But there's just so many different ways for me of the way we can be with these tools, and especially with body processes. And that conversation is just brilliant. And it's just so light-hearted to hear this in the media, or just having this conversation of change and the elements of what we can be.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, this is a conversation. This is a tea time with Enric. So this is the first edition. We got into that idea for anyone that is watching that now in the future also. So, and what an invitation can this be? And we are going to do more of that. So this is a conversation. So any of you guys would like to bring a topic or what?
I said it's not just me interviewing you. I mean, I'm interviewing. Anyone can ask a question. I just love being able, especially looking from a publicist's perception, is that you're just so open to receive and ask questions like this. So it's quite fun to be able to ask you questions like this and then be able to receive what your reply is. And that's really fun for me.
Oh, thank you so much. I really enjoy also to have you in a conversation, having a conversation with you or an interview. I really like that. So yeah, we are inviting all of you guys to make questions, to do some questions, to bring anything that you would like to talk about in these conversations.
Enric, one thing that I like to ask everyone is, how is everyone's bodies going? And then ask questions to Enric. Like, I know that my body after foundation was amazing. And then yesterday I had the most strangest day that I've had for so long. Cannot put it into words and not making it significant, but it was like I was dying. My body was literally saying, I'm done. And so I was in question. I asked things. I have some amazing people around me, and you got Dr. Dane here, and you got lots, and you got the tools. So it was just amazing. And then I came out of this, came through it, even with more clarity, and my body has so much more energy like it's ever had. So my question to everyone is, how's your bodies going through right now with these interesting times? And ask these questions to Enric.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea. So you can just open your micro, or you can just write it here on the chat. Corina says, crazy. My body is crazy. Whoa.
Hey.
Hello, Corina.
Hi, love. How are you? Well, actually, for the last 5 days, I have been living this crazy situation, especially in the morning and at night, is that I start coughing a lot. And there's not a particular reason why this is happening. So it happened like for 5 days. And at first I was really scared. really in shock, like, oh my God, not me, why? But then I started asking questions. And I realized that I was receiving and perceiving all the energy that is surrounding me, you know? People who are probably afraid. Also, I live really close from a hospital here in my city. So I said, okay, so I think this is what's going on. And I started asking questions like, does this belong to me? If I'm healing, who am I healing? Okay, this is enough. And I told my body, this is not your job. So please, bye bye. I need to stay strong, and this is not. And of course, interesting point of view. And believe it or not, it has been working for me a lot. And then I have a friend who's also been in this path as myself, and she said I started having a fever with no reason, without a reason. And after the fever, I started living the situation. And she said, I think it's the same. I think it's that we are receiving all this energy and trying to heal people around us.
Yeah, thank you. And I had some symptoms uh, like a month ago when it was starting this corona thing in some countries, just at the beginning. It was so funny because I was traveling from Argentina to Barcelona, flying to my home, Barcelona. And in Barcelona, they were, it was beginning, like having more cases and increasing the, the virus. But there in Argentina, there was no cases. But the funny thing is that the people were so afraid when we were like getting into the plane, and I could have these same sensations. I was having the symptoms as I had the virus, and I asked it to my body, "Is that the virus? How it feels?" And it was wow, yes. So my body starts to have the same sensations, you know, like coughing and like feeling like I was needing more air or whatever. And I realized that how afraid were a lot of people, how was the thing going on in many places. And but at the same time I was so relaxed because I realized, and I was knowing that there there was no virus, it was just a perception. But yeah, it's cool to be in the question and ask the body what's that, because many times we can also having these just perceptions and we think that we are having a problem, and that's so weird. So our bodies are so aware, and not necessarily they are sick. So what else is possible, and everything that brought up, would you like to strain and create all that? Right on with that pot online source by and beyonds. We are using the clearing statement from Access. We are not using a lot in this conversation, but sometimes we can use it. It's a clearing, verbal clearing to change the energy, to dissipate the energy that is behind or under something, under a thought, under a point of view. It's a tool to expand and change all the limitations and points of view. So it's good also from my point of view to ask the body, to ask not just like somewhere else or other people, because people are so crazy sometimes. It's good also to ask to your body, what's going on here? And also, body, what do you require? Or can I do something for you, body? And especially if we are having different uh, realities now, different than normal activities. We are not going out, we are not working, we are not exercising that much. So, body, what would you like to have today? And and you can also perceive what your body requires, like what kind of food, what quantity, or how much you are eating, not judging it, just perceiving it and letting your body to show you what's really the best.
So, Eric, can you talk about what's the difference about perceiving and judging? Like perceiving and versus judging your body. So perceiving not eating too much, or perceiving or judging your body that you're eating too much.
So we have to realize that we are already too much in our thoughts and in our mind. So what happens is that we are asking questions and we are answering, or our mind is answering these questions. So it's kind of weird when we are asking our bodies, because most of us, we are going to the thoughts and to the judgments. So how can we recognize our bodies, or the choices, or the preferences that our bodies has, instead of confusing that with our judgments? So we can follow the energy. We have to follow the energy. And energy is something that it can be soft, or it can be not really intense or strong. It's something that is soft and subtle. How do you say that? Subtle? Like it's really
Sub,
maybe it's not a word in English.
I know it is. I know I can. It's on the tip.
Okay.
It's like it's gentle. Like it's a gentle, subtle.
Yeah.
That's the word, subtle.
Subtle. So it's subtle, and some of us, we are expecting like, yeah, huge answer. I'm asking my body, would you like to eat that? And body says yes, or it's so strong, and it hasn't have to be like that. It can be really, really soft and gentle and subtle. And so if we are aware of that, if we are in this space of following the perception, following the energy, it's easier. It's about following the energy, and we are not used to that. We have been grown to follow points of view, to follow conclusions and judgments. So when we are opening ourselves to another reality, it's so much easier to be aware of what our bodies are asking. So what if we can open ourselves even more now in this situation to the preferences, to the perception, to the energy that our bodies are saying and asking to us? It's choosing another reality. It's going beyond the normal thing. Usually we have everything structured and planned, and we have everything like in a box, like organize it and perfectly uh, recreate it. So when we are opening to awareness, it's to being present. It's to be present and to choose and choose again and create and change and follow and allowing things showing up different. Yeah.
So, Eric, when we put significance on our body, what does that create? So, with what you were just talking, and then with Karina, like what she was talking about, when we put, then when we do choose or we've decided judgment about our body, that's significant. What does that create?
Yeah. So what happens is that if we put more significance in things, we do things harder. We do things more solid than what they are. So that's the fun thing, that we hold the things, we block the things in our bodies and in our realities. When we do a lot of significance, when we put a lot of significance, like important things, we do, we make things more important than what they really are. So we are not allowing like everything to just disappear or change to another reality, to another possibility. So that's what happens when we are doing significance. For this reason, we like in Access to talk a lot of being out of significance, being out of structure, being out of definition. If we are being that possibility, that energy of no definition, no conclusion, no judgment, we are kind of free. We are kind of really present. We are in total allowance of us, of ourselves. Because the funny thing is that we are not a defined thing, but we try to do that. But if we ask what else is possible, if we ask for the truth of who am I, you can get more of this space that you are not being, you are not a defined thing. You are something that is undefined, and you are exploring that. You don't really know what else is possible and what's going to happen. But this reality is created by significance, by definition. When we are talking about this reality, is the reality of conclusion, thinking, and having everything, trying to having everything controlled, and being in trauma and drama, and having problems and difficulties. Where most of people are, or we have been there, and we be there sometimes, many of the times. But we have these tools to recognize, to be aware of all this. Yeah, so what else? Welcome, the people is coming and joining us. This is a conversation. Oh, Sarah, we were missing something. We were not showing the people
What were
our cups of tea. So this is a tea time. So we are having a tea together. We invite you to have a tea or
tea?
whatever. Yeah, tea we are having here.
I drink
Nice
it.
tea to, yeah, some tea.
That's what you do in England, in London. It's very tea time. This is tea time. 5 o'clock tea time. I don't have the accent of an English lady, but we have tea at 4 to 5.
Yeah, tea time. Yeah, we are doing that. So we are having this conversation. Yeah, so the people is coming now. You are invited to make some questions if you would like.
I've noticed more people are coming on board, and that's awesome. And it's so great to have you doing this in English too, and more people to know you all around the world, like global, to know who you are too. The one thing I like to talk about too a little bit more is like I really started getting to know when I actually participate in drama and trauma, when then I actually just perceive drama and trauma. And I think that's something we could talk about because I really noticed my family did drama and trauma, and they made that so real, so vital and valuable. And I actually bought it. I bought it. I did drama queen so well, and I participated it until I realized it wasn't actually mine. So could you talk about that, and then I'll let other people ask questions.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, maybe other people also they know something about this drama queen, to be a drama queen. Yeah, and you said that your family has been doing that or doing or choosing that a lot. So there's a lot of people that is choosing that. It's so real, so normal to have this reality. As we were saying, drama and trauma, it's normal in this reality. So we do also like force, or we kind of choose a lot to have that in our lives, because if we haven't got that, it's not normal. If you have if you are not having this drama in your life, you are so strange. You are not normal. You cannot be in this reality without having problems. And that's the funny thing. That's a weird thing that happens. So sometimes we are we are so like connected with other people by having this drama. We are using that not to get out of the earth and being in another space, another planet or reality. We kind to have this necessity to be connected with their realities. So we are choosing these drama, trauma and drama and these points of view or judgments or this news that we are hearing. So then we can have something to talk with them and to share with them and to be involved with them.
I really love that, like have something so we can talk about. And one thing I've actually acknowledged very recent is I have that to fit in. I noticed it this morning when I was talking to the postie, and he said, "Oh, how are you, Sarah? And how are you going on with all this?" And I could actually perceive myself trying, actually trying to find the ways to fit in, to fit with him. And then I went, wow. And when I acknowledged that, I didn't make myself wrong, didn't make him wrong, but I was able to say, hey, and then like just pull out of that, just pull my energy out of that and then choose something different. That was, and I noticed I do it with a lot of people. I try to fit in, and then if I don't fit in, that's where I judge myself, and that has where I've been screwing myself over. But that's the lie I've been telling myself. So I've been choosing something different. So
Well, it came something up when you were talking now. So yeah, we try to fit into their realities, and we low down our energy, like our vibration. You are happy, and then you make yourself unhappy a bit, not to be too aggressive with them, something like that. Like if I'm happy in front of them, then I'm confronting them, or I'm kind of kicking them with my happiness or with my no point of view uh, energy. So everything that doesn't allow us to be whatever energy I enjoy to be or I be anytime. Would you like to destroy and create all that, guys? Yes, right, wrong, good, bad, bottom line, shorts, boys and beyonds. So yeah, that's so funny. And I was having this perception like before all this craziness starts in almost all world. I was having an awareness that my body was saying me, if you are choosing happiness, if you are choosing being alive, this will be so much easier than if you are, like not being happy, like not being space. So yeah, what space can we be? What happiness can we be? For sure, there is something going on. There is many things going on, and we will not get into analyze what's going on, from where it's coming, all that, and all these things. There are many, many things that we could talk about. But the interesting point now is what am I choosing? What can I choose? What can I be? Yeah, and what if there's no right and wrong with that that's going on now? What if there is no wrong choice now for me, and I allow myself to be whatever and to play with whatever? So for this, now we are playing a bit. We're just doing that just for fun, just for creation, just for the fun of it, just for the beauty of it, of having this conversation and talking about consciousness and possibilities. Yeah. Yeah, and I have this idea. We will do more of these conversations, and we will have. I got the idea that we can have also different topics and different people coming, joining us. I really like that. So it's my first, kind of my first Zoom in English. So I'm so happy with that, and so happy to create more in English. What else we are going to create? What else can we create?
You do actually do a English Zoom with Cassie. So if people don't know that you actually have a Facebook group and you actually have done like lives and Zooms, that could be another place where people can actually see you in English too. And Cassie and you, when you two get together, there's an energy that you create on the planet, and not like really for consciousness. It's just amazing with no significance. So that's another like that's another place where people can actually see you in English. Yeah.
Yeah, you can find us in our Facebook group that is called Power of Kindness. So there we put some posts, we have some lives talking about kindness and this energy that Sarah said about us creating this space of not judging us and being this kindness energy with our bodies, with everyone. And yeah, for sure, it's coming more and more creations, Sarah. We will have foundation in English too, and we will have other Zooms and calls coming on. So I wonder how many people can join us and have fun with us.
And Eric, can I ask you something? What about a book club? What if someone like chooses a favorite book and you could do a book club or a book review or something like that?
Yeah. I like that also. Yes, yes.
I have to say, I like someone, I think it's Eve. She's got this knife and the camera's up. So she's,
Yeah.
all you can see is this knife. I love her. We're in a horror movie.
Yeah, she's cooking something. That's so cool. Yeah, I like these people that they put the camera on and they, no matter what they are doing, they are being there, like sharing with us. So cool. And then there is people that I'm sure they look so beautiful at home, but they don't put the camera because they say, "Oh no, I'm not looking good enough." And then there's these people walking around the house, so fast and moving the camera. The phone fell down at the floor, and then they still have the camera on. That's so cool. Yeah. So yeah, what else is possible? And yeah, what creations are coming up like in this situation? So what if you, any of you, in your home, in your country or city, what else is possible now? What else can you create with your body? What else can you enjoy? And ask questions. What else is possible? Because we are tending to do now here, and not I'm talking about humanoids or access people or people that are interested in consciousness and possibilities, like normal people. They have to be at home, and people tend to just, okay, this I have to be at home, so no way, there's no other way to enjoy now. For sure, people is being so creative and having fun and playing and creating things, but I'm sure many people is getting bored. If you are not, there's a lot of time and there's a lot of change when you are not doing the same movements in your life. And also, there are many people that are used to have change in their lives. Like, oh, now I'm working a lot. Now I'm not working. Now I'm being at home. Now I'm traveling somewhere else. I'm being outside and uh, meeting different places and people. And there are many people, it's kind of the first time they have to be at home. or have to have a huge change. So what else is possible? What else is possible beyond what you thought it's possible?
So,
Mm.
Eric, can I ask a question? In Spain, are you allowed to go outside? Because I have to say, it's been interesting for me because we're only allowed to go outside to go shopping or to go for a walk once a day. I've actually met more people and I've interacted and with lots of different people. So I'm just wondering, like in the different countries where everyone is right now, like, are you going out? Are you interacting? Is that actually a choice that you're making? Or are you keeping to yourselves?
Well, here we are allowed for the government uh, law to go out just for food or to get some medicine or for the most important jobs when people is going to work. But there are only the essential jobs going on, essential works. The other ones are completely stopped, and so we are not allowed to go out and walk just for fun. So that's a weird thing, like there's thousands and millions of people that they cannot move more than going for food, for shopping food. So that's weird, and it happens also to other countries. It's depending the country. I know many countries in Europe, they're allowed to go and run and do sport always if they don't interact with other people. They keep separate and on distance with other people. But here we are not allowed. So it's kind of weird because it's not for the police. Only people looks you bad. Like people is so afraid because okay, the state says you are not allowed to do that, so people is so afraid, and so people doesn't look other people nicely when they are walking somewhere. For sure it changes if you are living in a city or in a different district or in a different town or whatever. But yeah, what else is possible? Yeah, whichever is your situation, what else is possible now? And Sarah, or many of you, maybe we are having this conversation, and we are having similar conversations before the coronavirus because we are always looking for possibilities and for changes. So for many of us, this is like, wow, we are seeing possibilities, not just the problems. So it's not like we are rejecting that or trying to fight with that or to be like, yeah, we don't trust anything of that. We are just okay. We have to change some things in our life, but we are looking for more possibilities since many time ago, like since lots of years or since always, almost looking for different possibilities. So now it's just, oh wow, now something is changing, it's changing, and we are still asking, what else is possible? What can I create? What's available here for me? What else is available for us? Yeah. Yeah. So thank you very much, Sarah, and all of you guys. Thank you very much to being here. Someone
This is
else is joining now.
Thank you very much, Eric. This has been an amazing conversation, and I mean, I do a lot of interviews in my role as a publicist and a journalist. So it was fun to ask you questions and have someone who had no barriers up to answering the questions. It was a really fun interview and a conversation to have with you. And everyone on board too,
Yeah,
listening.
everyone that
Yeah,
has been here receiving us and following us here in this conversation. So yeah, I'm so glad, I'm so happy with that. And we are going to do more. We are going to meet and having more tea time Zooms and tea time with Enric. and Sarah, and whoever is coming. So thank you very much. We'll have all this in our channel in YouTube, so mm, any of us can see the recordings. So see you, Sarah. Thank you, and see you. Bye bye to everyone.
See you, Vera. See you, Eric. See you,
See
everyone
you.
coming.
Bye bye. Thank you.